Vy máte asi rád stehínko, že jo?
Já chci stehínko.
Přijde se nemluví, máme host.
Kájo, dědeček taky nedostal stehínko a nic neříká. Vy, dědečku.
Ale jen seďte, nemusí mít všechno, co chce.
Ale když ho má rád, tak si vem stehínko a...
Kájo, co pak to se dělá? Hned to teď je vrať.
Ale tak mu nechte oboje, my se s Petrem rozdělíme, viď?
No samozřejmě.
To nejde. To byste se nenajedli ani jeden. Vemte si moje.
Pusto, pusto.
Vem si tu moji. Ne, to byste nic neměla, my se rozdělíme.
Jo, jak chcete rozdělit stehno.
A to my už to nějak uděláme.
Podívejte, tam už ho pěkně rozdělit.
No a vy si vemte stehínko.
No a je to. To je akorát dohadování.
Pusto.
Ale už toho mám dost.
One of the main goals of the Národní filmový archiv is to preserve cinema heritage and open it to the public. Not only film reels, but also photographs and documents are stored in our depositories. In the Department of Written Records, any written items that have some connection to filmmaking are kept. We have a special collection of scripts, movie posters, and a collection of photographs of famous actors, directors, filmmakers, and film historians. When researchers are looking into a film, they usually come to us. The whole creative process behind the film can be documented with our records pertaining to script writing, budget allocation, casting, crew members, location research, and shooting. These can be accompanied with call sheets and daily records. Last but not least, we keep records of the film's journey to production, film festivals, and press. We collect personal estate of Czech actors and directors. A few years ago, to give one example, we received a personal estate from the son of the Czech director Elmar Klos, who won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film for The Shop on the Main Street in 1965. Last year, the Czech embassy in Washington, D.C. helped us with the estate of Ivan Passer, facilitating the shipping of 34 boxes from Los Angeles to Prague. The boxes arrived in November 2020. Reflecting his life in the USA, Mr. Passer's estate includes documents and audiovisual materials from 1969, when he left Czechoslovakia, to his passing in the beginning of 2020.
Before we were offered to take care of the inheritance of Ivan Passer in his papers, his work was represented in our collection only through the posters and scripts and other documentation about his films which he produced in Czechoslovakia before 1968. So the new material which arrived last year was a big surprise to us. We kind of knew that this part of his estate would consist only of his American career. So now we have complete Ivan Passer from his early years until his last projects in the US, like Nomad, which was his very last film. Here are the first scripts which he was working on in Czechoslovakia in the early 1960s. Those are, as you can see, very thin files, which, however, were the beginnings of amazing films. Those are considered part of the Czechoslovak New Wave. Czechoslovakia was one country, so Czechs and Slovaks would study and work in film together. And Ivan Passer was one of the crucial figures of the new wave for his own work and also for his cooperation with Miloš Forman and other personalities of the new wave in the 1960s in Czechoslovakia. Ivan Passer and Miloš Forman were very good friends from the early years when they were little boys studying in this school, boarding school in Poděbrady, a small town outside of Prague in Czechoslovakia after the Second World War. And the friendship never ended. They worked together in the 1960s and they left Czechoslovakia together in after 1968 occupation of Czechoslovakia. And they continued working together, and as old men they would spend long hours together on telephone talking about mainly sports and games, particularly golf. So this endless friendship basically is also mapped in this nice interview with Ivan Passer, which was published in Los Angeles Times, and it starts on the front page of LA Times, called Miloš, Ivan and the Great Escape to Hollywood. It's a long and detailed interview focusing also on the whole generation of Czechoslovak New Wave. So this was published only 3 weeks before Ivan passed away. So this is the last testimony to his work. But now, when we have all his documents from his apartment in LA, we can say that we have Ivan back home, and we can start making him available his rather less known career also for the research purposes and for all other purposes in the Národní filmový archiv.
Mr. Passer's personal archives include 89 notebooks. These are an important part of the estate, not only because of the high number, but also for their function as significant pieces of evidence of Mr. Passer's life, as they show his thoughts about film, personal interests, and life in general. We have also received a couple of his diaries and his phone book from 1969. Financial and legal documents are also part of this category, as well as one file with letters and documents concerning his departure for the United States. An interesting collection of photographs provides a glimpse at Mr. Passer's personal life, as we gathered photographs of his family, friends and colleagues, as well as pictures from the film sets. As for his film career, you can see that we received plenty of materials concerning especially his film career in the United States. For the films included, such as the 1981 Cutter's Way, the 1985 Creator, the 1988 Haunted Summer, the 1992 Stalin, and his last film Nomad from 2005, one can find many related documents. Mr. Passer was also a teacher at the University of Southern California and mentor to many aspiring filmmakers who sent him their scripts and ideas, wishing to be apprised and acquire him as their director. We should not forget, however, that he wrote his own scripts too. As a famous director, he visited many film festivals all around the world. In 2008, he was awarded the Crystal Globe for Outstanding Artistic Contribution to World Cinema at the Karlovy Vary International Film Festival. This award now returns to the Czech Republic as part of his estate. The third category includes books, magazines, newspapers, and clippings that he collected during his life in the United States. He kept articles about himself, his films, his friends, and things that interested him, such as cinema, golf, trading, or gambling. 8 boxes of our acquisition contain audiovisual materials such as videotapes of his films, unedited footage and audition tapes from his film's castings. Ivan Passer also collected Czech films from his friends and colleagues, some of them left unopened. In this category one can find DVDs and CDs. For instance, we have several CDs of Kazakh music which he researched for his film Nomad. Currently we are sorting and listing the acquired items. Once this process is finished, hopefully this year, Mr. Passer's estate will be accessible to researchers and historians interested in his life and film career. With regard to legal restrictions related to the protection of living persons and the prohibition of releasing documents younger than 30 years.
Ahoj, Věro.
Já nejsem Věra, já jsem Štěpa.
Ty jsi Pepa. Ty jsi Pepa. Ty se mi líbíš, Věro.
A? Já jsem Štěpa, víš? Štěpa.
Pepa?
Štěpa. Štěpa,
Štěpa.
Správně, no. Jak se ty jmenuješ?
Jarouš.
Máš docela hezký jméno.
Hezký jméno, viď? Líbí se ti?
No.
The whole project of transferring the estates of Ivan Passer from LA to Národní filmový archiv to Prague wouldn't have been possible without great help from the Embassy of the Czech Republic in Washington, D.C. They were very cooperative, and we together managed to keep the whole operation secret until today, when we want to publish the information about Ivan Passer and his documents being at home again in the Národní filmový archiv in Prague.